I'm sure I can. If I refresh chat, live chat, participants, it only shows me as a participant. Hang on.
Let's mute that.
Let's try going to YouTube, my channel, my stream. All right, it's here. Got it. All right, let me mute that so I... Are you in the chat?
Yes, let me send a message just to double check.
Okay. Okay, do you have a channel URL? And that way I can paste your channel URL to make you a moderator.
Yes, let me grab that.
Actually, you can just paste it yourself. Right.
Like in chat or through
No, just right on
Tuple?
my screen into that box.
All right. There we go. I've got my window back. Okay. How do I find my channel ID? Here we go. Let's open a new window or a new tab. My channel. Here we go. Oh, I need to request something, don't I? Send all keystrokes. Is that what I want?
Yeah, there's like there you go.
Cool.
So it needs the URL, I think.
Oh,
The
Christ's
full
sake.
URL.
Okay.
Boom. All right. So why won't it let me save this? All right, I'm gonna copy this. Yeah, Lynn, that's what I wanted. Okay, there we go. Save. All right, so now if you reload the stream, I think you should be a moderator.
Okay, let's reload that. I think I'm going to have to... I have the chat open in a separate window. Maybe I can reload that as well.
Okay, I have the option to remove moderator from you, which means that you are a moderator.
Yeah, and the icon looks different. I've got a small spanner there, or a wrench.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool. We love to see it. Sweet. Okay, so you are good. I'm just gonna message Papa and tell him we're going live and ask if he can announce it again for the people. Yo, Papa, we are live. Can you Discord announce? TY heart. All right.
No, have we checked audio on the output, or we'll just let anyone in chat talk about whether or not it's working?
I am seeing both my voice and your voice in OBS.
Cool.
So as long as OBS is indicative of what's going on to stream, then I think we're good.
Right now, will I stay in chat if I close this window? So I've got chat open as a separate window. So I want to be able to have tuple up at the same time.
Sure.
Let's see here. Yeah, seems to still be working. Yeah, because I don't need to see the screen. I've got a live view of it already. Save some bandwidth. Cool. I think I'm good.
All right. Hell yeah. Well, what's up, people? So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Daniel. This is Len. We're chilling. We're working on Bothead, the presale management tool, and we are kind of working right now on the new creator onboarding flow. I was working on some of this last night, so I'm gonna catch Len up on like where it's at. And then I guess we'll kind of talk through it. So let me real quick open Bear and let me get my rev share announcement from before on there. All right, here we go. So creator onboarding. So here's basically the flow. So there is a slash, like a bothead. Let's just call this app dot. Let's just assume we're going to be at app.bothead.io, right? So this is going to be a marketing page with copy targeted at our 3 primary user types. And those are individual, creator, community. So this is people. This is projects that are minting or run an NFT of some sort. And then this is groups that get presale allocations, right? So these are our 3 types of users. So right now we're focused on these ones. So the creator, is my web server running? It is. So you can see this page. So this is kind of like the home page, right? And we have this sort of register a creator team thing here. Whoa, is this? I changed this image. What the hell? That's wild. Just take a look.
Something being cached?
Could be.
Were you just changing it in your CSS? If we're not versioning our CSS, that could be.
I don't think that's it. But let's see. App screenshot. Look at this. I swear. If we search images slash. Oh, okay, so I changed it on the logged in version, but not on the logged out version, which is here. All right, here we go. So whatever, this image will be better. But we're here, we can register a creator team. So this, also is the logged out version, which is interesting. So this is, my thought was to have kind of a logged in and logged out version so that like if people already had teams, they didn't have to like go through this sort of marketing bullshit. That being said, now I'm duplicating work. So I don't know if that's good or not. But we want to go to slash creators. So, all right. So register a creator team. So that's going to make us log in. So it sends us to Discord. We authorize. Request expired, obviously, because the thing failed. All right. So we're back here. We're going to register a creator team. Now it's going to have us log in. Request expired. What's going on here?
I feel like I had that happening a lot when I was writing tests for that other component. Can you refresh this page and then do it?
Yeah, I'm in an incognito window now. Although that's going to mean that I need... Fuck, that's stupid. All right. Localhost 3333.
And then maybe just refresh it again first.
It really wants me to log in with Phantom. All right. I'm going to refresh it one more time. Okay. Why is it redirecting me again? Oh, Discord/callback. So what are we seeing here? So let's go look at our Discord auth controller in our callback. Let's just console log Discord here. What do we get? We get client. Ooh. So, all right. I don't know if that's useful. So I want the Discord user really. So, is this what's happening? I guess let's do this.
Might need to refresh your tokens after the screen too.
Yep. All right, so let's go back.
Are you on a branch right now, or are you on main?
No, I'm on a branch.
Right. Can you send me the
All right, there
branch
we go.
name?
Look at that. I'm logged in.
Okay. Just figured I should have the code open too, but
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter.
So the branch is it's DC/wallets.
Okay.
All right. So, this is to manage like your creator teams. This should list them correctly. I don't know. I haven't actually like tested that the listing works right. Here's to add the team. So then this is the thing. I don't think this form is submitting anywhere right now. So let's just test that. So we'll say test team. Test team. It is a team and it is a test. So let's just go look at our creator create.edge. So we have a form. Oh yeah, it has no action even. Yeah. So we need to go to our creator controller. So we have a store method in the creator controller. It wants a name and a description. It also needs a slug. And then in our creator, or in our team.ts, we need to add a slug column. And then in our team oh, we don't have a team factory. But in our team here, we're also going to add a slug. All right.
Do you have that in the migration too?
I just added it to this migration. I'm still
Oh,
living in
sorry.
like migrate fresh land.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, Ace migration fresh.
Fresh.
All right. So this is going to mean I'm now logged out probably. So let's log in, authorize. What the hell, dude? Does it have like a... Yeah, there is a user. Right? So in our Discord auth controller, I'm console logging the user here. So that's correct. Oh. This is what I was doing before, though. Providers. Ally provider. Register and boot. Huh. Drivers, Discord, index. All right, so is there a redirect URL thing here? Like, what type is that?
Sorry, I didn't realize I had unstaged changes, so I'm just trying to stash those before I check out your thing. So I'm looking at my screen.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so this is here, ally driver. So redirect URL. Okay, that's not what we want. So we want... We want the URL they wanted to go to before they redirected. So do we need to add our own parameter to our callback that collects like the intent URL? You know what I'm saying?
When you send a post request, or when you send the request to Discord, oh no, you just want it in a session, right? So we don't need to do that in any of the requests. So if we just go to auth/redirect or whatever, we just want to set that we want to set that intended page, or like the history.back or whatever. We want to set that in the session because we
How do we set something in the session in Adonis? That's the question.
no, we don't want to do that in the callback. We want to do that in our middleware. So when it's doing the auth middleware,
this is the thing that sends them to Discord.
Yeah, but if we take that address, we're just going to have the redirect URL. So if we go into our Discord auth middleware, when it's checking whether or not we're logged in, and then it redirects us to the Discord redirect address or route, that's where we want to store that current route in the session and then redirect them.
Gotcha. So we need to make a new middleware that does that then.
Couldn't we just do that in the auth middleware we're already using?
Yes, we could. So where is our auth middleware? Here. All right. So where is this getting used?
So through authenticated exception. Yeah, so before we actually
so the only place
them,
that's happening is here. So this must be getting caught somewhere, and then they were getting redirected.
What's happening in the handle method, handle requests? Are we doing anything?
Doing this authenticate. And this authenticate does this. Which means the handle method must be wrapped in a try catch somewhere. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then if they catch this unauthenticated exception, it has the redirect to inside of it, and then they redirect you. because there's no like manual thing here. So basically, if we get to here, then we are unauthenticated, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, no, unable to authenticate using any guard. So for sure. So then
Okay.
here we want to set our
Yeah, session intended URL.
Yeah, which is how. So let's go look at the docs, find the session. So we have to install the session. Then, all right. So you can configure the behavior of the session. I don't really care about that. We'll just go with whatever the default is. How do I set things in the session? Read and write session values. Session get, session put. Perfect. So
Do we need, okay, that comes through context. Okay.
yeah, how do we,
Will it come through
is there a
automatically or do we
helper?
need
Give me a session
to?
helper, dog. Tell me there's a session helper. Give me that. No. All right. So,
All right, time for Grapestop Markdown.
well, let's see, because middleware might, it's a middleware.
Yeah, does it get sent
Auth.
a
This is a
context?
context contract, right?
Except it's specifically the auth object within that.
Where's handle? Handle gets the whole contract. Here we go. Okay, then we'll pass the session into here. And that will be this. And then now we have a session. Hang on, someone's calling me. I'm just gonna text them and let them know I can't talk to them. All right, so what the hell is this? So I guess we could have the request, right?
Yeah,
Because we have an
like
HTTP context.
request dot.
So then we'll make this URL, and then we'll say const URL equals request.url. And then in here, we'll say that URL is a string. Then here, we'll set that to URL. Make sense?
I think so, and I don't see any squigglies.
Yeah, I think we're all good. So then we will, back in our auth controller in the callback, rather than doing this, we'll say session. Oh, we have to import session up here. So then we'll say that session.get intended URL or slash. That seems good to me. Why don't we go to or dashboard since we know they're logged in. And then we'll redirect them to the URL.
Cool.
All right, so let us test it. So I'm gonna hit register a creator. Let me just make sure my database is Let me just delete myself.
Yeah, you're definitely going to need to reissue your tokens.
Yeah. All right. So register creator team. Invalid guard / Make sure the guard is defined inside the config.auth. Invalid guard. Authenticate auth guards session URL. It's probably just the order of those or something. Yeah. Auth guards session URL. Auth guards session URL. All right. So we go back. All right, so we're trying to go to creators. It's going to authorize. Hey, we're at creators. We love it.
Dope.
All right, so that's pretty sick. We got redirects working on login. So now we have our creator controller, which is where we were earlier. So we have a store method that takes a name, a description, and a slug from the body. So I think if we just go to our thing and we add a form action here, we'll see how it goes. All right, so this is not it. The action is going to be route creators.store, I think. Let's go see.
Do we actually get the root helper in our views there, or does it need to be root make URL?
I'm pretty sure we do. I'm trying to figure out where it would be though. Yeah. Oh, look, you can just go straight to the controller. That's kind of sick. I guess you can do that in Laravel too, I think. But
now, is that what it expects to begin with, or
that's the question.
Can we do it? Because I feel like we've been able to do that within the code anyways, but I feel like that's just tying it to an implementation detail.
It looks like everything wants it to. I mean, all the examples are controller methods.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just do that.
Fair enough.
Route creators controller dot store. That's what it's called, right? Creator controller. That's probably wrong, but we'll fix it all at once. All right, so we have this weirdly indented form. Thanks, prettier. I like that. Appreciate you, bud. All right, well, whatever. So now we have a form here. Is our button a submit button? It is. Okay. So we're going to say test team, team which is a test. All right. So there's a team. It has an ID. It has an owner ID. It's a creator team. So that's good. So then if we check our database under teams,
Cool.
Oh, the slug didn't get stored.
Nor did the name.
The name and the slug did not get stored. All right, so let's go see what the fuck is going on?
Are we missing stuff in our fillable fields?
Maybe. So name is name as string. Wait, are my inputs just called the wrong things? Um,
Because slug
so
worked,
the
right?
name is
Name.
also called slug, so that's going to be an issue.
Hmm.
So that's name. Oh my god, what is with this indentation? Look, every time I save it, it de-indents another line.
This is
Amazing.
ridiculous.
We'll fix all that with prettier later. So this is called slug. So probably what's happening is, so slug's just not getting saved. And name was called slug, so it wasn't getting saved.
And description has the right name in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we do need some validation. Let's look for validation.
Yeah. Did we look for like form request objects?
I did not, but I kind of doubt they exist.
Hmm.
A schema dot create request dot validate schema new post schema.
I guess that's kind of like a form request object.
Yeah, so schema is something like a form request object. All right, so let's go back to our controller. Let's create a schema for these. In fact, we can probably just do that out here.
Oh, schema dot create.
I hate TypeScript. Oh.
Hmm. Now, do we actually have any?
I have to await that, yeah.
Now, within that schema, do we have like proper validation more than just string? Because I feel like that's a bit redundant right now. We've already got
custom messages introduction. What are our rules? Okay, there's like .email.
okay.
Coffee.
So what's the first object within string supposed to be? Because it's got the rules in an array for the second parameter.
So we can import rules here. And then optional. You can also add nullable.
Oh, interesting. They can be chained. Cool.
Validating HTTP requests. So you can just pass the array as the first argument, it looks like.
Okay. So what validation do we actually need here?
I want to see their available validation rules, if possible. I guess we can just look at rules.
Oh, I think there might have been something on the very bottom of that other page, wasn't there? View all the available validation rules.
Hell yeah. This is the only fucking page I ever go to in the Laravel docs. All right, validation rules. Alpha validates the value to only have letters. Confirmed.
They need a separate page for everyone.
Password confirmation. Gotcha. Exist, unique. I want no white space. Do I have to write a regex for that?
I suspect you would.
This is perfect, actually. Just letters, numbers, and oh, I want to add dashes too.
I think they had one called Alpha Dash, didn't they?
Oh, here we go. Alpha allow space underscore dash.
Cool.
No space though. I just want underscore.
No regex needed.
Love that. Okay, cool. So we have to import rules here. And then for slug, we're just going to remove space. All right, so now theoretically, I should be able to go test team 2, test team. Ooh, is the 2 going to get me canceled here? Test, test. So if I save that.
Cool. Okay. Now we just need to render errors.
Yeah. Well, let's just make sure it didn't get saved. Okay, it didn't get saved. So how do we render errors?
Okay. Do we have an error bag on the session?
I bet you anything we do. Here we go. Error reporters. Okay, this is all custom shit. I want the defaults, bro. Give me the defaults. Views.
And it would be really cool if we had an old helper.
Show me how to render these fucking errors in here. Come on, dude.
I wonder if it shows us that in the validation.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yes.
If Flash Messages has errors.username. All right, well, forget about old for now. Let's just get this running. So on our create.edge, so here, we'll just drop this in here, and this is called name. Dude, what the fuck? Format document. Okay, so it formats correctly, but then when I save it, it doesn't. What is
Do
going
you
on?
do you have linting set up in your yarn script?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least if you do
So
that, it'll save it
we'll be able
itself
to
instead of.
clean it up that way. But that's crazy. All right, so let's try that. So let's just not have a username and go required validation failed. Okay, so we need to specify error messages, I guess.
In the validator, because it says string or whatever, but are we saying required? Because I
Uh,
think it only failed validation because it was checking that it exists and is of type string instead of null or undefined.
yeah, which is good. That's what we wanted, but it should tell me like is required or something. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, but wouldn't we just need to include a required rule and then the messaging would go with it?
maybe. All right, let's check that in a second. So this is slug, and then this is description. All right, and then for each of these, what the hell? Oh, I'm pressing F instead of D. All right, so all right. Hey, what the fuck? Are you?
Do you have flex on the parent or what?
It must be. Oh, it's because there's I put it inside the input
Mm,
group wrapper. There we go.
beauty.
So,
All right, how do we change our messages here?
um, that is the great question. All right, so custom messages. Well, let's fuck that. Let's try the easy way, like you were talking about. So, well, this one. All right, let's make this one fail that. So if we go like test %%%, right? That should fail. Alpha validation failed. These are terrible.
Yeah, this
All
is
right,
really bad.
so let's put that in grapes.md.
What was the other one we had to go in there?
Better default error messages for the default rules.
I'm going to close the chat window since there doesn't seem to be any action in there
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah. All right, so what do we want to do now? So presumably, all right, so where were we? Custom messages. So inside of our validator, we can create a messages object. So let's try that. For our validator. So, oh no, inside of request validate. That's annoying. Let me just put it in the validator. All right, so request validate is here. Messages. Required. Oh. So if I just do that. Okay. So
Then we need alpha. Nice. God, I gotta get on this. I hate tab 9 so much,
I don't
but
know what that is.
it's basically like budget Copilot.
Gotcha. All right, and then the only thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make both of these in quotes. Love it.
Then we should probably set a max characters for the description too.
And a min characters, I would imagine. How many characters is 255?
Less than a tweet. This is a lot of extra boilerplate.
All right, length is not a thing.
Size?
Options. It's got to be options.length. Rule. Field. Options.min length, options.max length.
That should have been obvious.
Beautiful.
Slug should be unique, shouldn't it?
Yes. Is there a unique rule?
It looks like it, and then our messages would be slug.unique with username or slug not available. So this message would be in quotes slug.unique. And then team, no, how do you say it? Address not available.
All right, let's save one. All right.
Cool.
So now if we go back to the same thing, sorry that URL slug is already taken. All right, we want the old data. How do we get the old data?
Okay. I'm not seeing.
Validating server rendered forms. Here we go. This is a whole tutorial. Retaining input values. Flash messages dot get, and then the field name.
Okay, and the second parameter is just a default value.
Yeah.
Can we skip the second parameter?
I don't think he would have put it in if we could, but we'll find out.
So where did you find this documentation? It was in the
It's at the bottom of the
reviews.
validation page. There's like a links to other shit, and one of them is like
Yeah.
a tutorial on server rendered forms.
Oh, the first one there. Okay.
All right. So all right. So now I should be able to go test 2, test this. Perfect.
Cool.
All right. We love to see it. Cool. So now in our controller,
So we just want to redirect to viewing that specific entry now, or to a dashboard listing all the entries?
I think we want to redirect right along to the add wallets page.
Oh, this is like a workflow?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do we want something up top that shows like the number of steps involved and what step is
I
the
think we
person is
do, but
on?
I'm not prioritizing it right now.
Okay.
So my thought is
So if we have this, so we had this as part of like a workflow object, and we were able to just like match where we are and define like a next computed function or computed property, so that we're not having to like manually go premature.
yeah, I think it's premature because there's only like 3 steps.
Yeah.
And all the workflows for all the tools are going to be the same 3 steps.
Okay.
But you're right. At some point, it would be nice to be able to do that. I think right now, all I care about is shipping one tool. So like, that's premature. But I think as we're shipping the second tool, then we'll have opportunities to create abstractions from the first tool that are useful for both. Okay. So right now I have a wallets page, but it's not creators / wallets. I think I actually want this to be teams / wallets, because this is going to be the same mechanism for both creator teams and community teams. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's go to our routes file. We've got our wallets here. I think this becomes teams / ID/wallets. Hey, baby. Um,
Daniel says hi.
Hello.
You gonna wave to the camera right there?
I don't even think I have your camera anymore.
Oh yeah. Did I stop it? I must have. Oh no, mine's still being shared.
Oh, weird.
Oh, Daddy's getting fat.
It's not showing up for me, so I don't think
Oh,
it's on stream either.
right. Well, I'm gonna end the webcam anyways.
All right,
Save
cool.
some bandwidth.
All right. So we are now redirecting there. So I am pulling this /team/ID/wallets page to the wallets controller. So in this case, we now have. How are we doing route model binding? We weren't, right?
Yeah, the only thing we
We did
found
this
for
finder
that
fail.
was with yeah, we found root model binding with like some big blog post that would you'd have to bind to something.
And we want to do that, but
Um,
we don't care that much right now.
yeah,
Okay,
because it's just a paper cut.
so here team equals team find or fail by ID params team, I guess, and then we'll change this to team. All right, so now
I think maybe until we get the root model binding stuff going, I'm wondering if maybe we should just instead of calling it teams be team ID or team underscore ID just for completion's sake.
sure, makes sense.
I think Allison agrees.
Ah, here,
Why is Paran squawking?
because we have to import it.
Oh.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so this gets us the team, and then for now we're going to if team. Thank you, GitHub, you're a genius. So we're just gonna throw a 403 if I'm not the owner of the team. Eventually, we're gonna have the concept of like authorized managers of teams, based on a Discord role. That today is not that day. So for now, we're just gonna forbid anyone but the owner from touching it. There is like an authorization. There is like authorization stuff in Adonis, and I'm sure we'll use that soon. But right now,
Using policies. Here we go. I fucking live for policies. I love those.
I'm glad someone does.
It's funny. I never ever use gates, but policies I love.
Hell yeah. All
The only
right.
thing about policies I don't like is that when you automatically scaffold them with the Laravel CLI, for some reason it doesn't like type hint or DI this one thing. So I've wasted so much time just because I'm looking for like something that doesn't exist.
Right. Okay. So here we're passing user, we're passing wallets. We're also going to pass team as well. So that means that the team will show up in our React props, which means in here we can import team as a team. And so now we should be able to do something like I think we need to make this optional. All right. All right, so we'll do this or this. So if there's a team, we'll do team.name wallets. All right, let's fucking find out if this works. So if I go to team/1/wallets, all right, something's happening.
Hmm.
Um,
Are you the owner of Team 1?
sure as fuck better be.
Owner ID 2. 2.
Yep.
Okay, so what is the deal? Is there anything being rendered in view source?
No.
Nothing. Okay.
So I bet you anything.
Is there anything in the console?
No, but are we console logging anything? Hmm?
Maybe if we just stop and start run dev again.
All right, let's fucking
Code
track it
binding.
down. Team/team ID/wallets. Wallets controller. Oh, create.
Weren't we just wanting to list them though?
Well, it's kind of a unified page, so we'll probably just end up putting it on index. You're right. Row not found.
Do we need
Find
a
failed
wallet?
by ID.
Oh, what's the because we've added a couple of teams. What's our team ID there right now?
Oh, we only have
Okay.
2 and 3. We don't have 1. Okay.
And no one in chat was telling
All right,
us.
so test wallets. And then if I make this 3, test 2 wallets. Okay, cool. So now what we need to do is in our
So why is the button disabled there? Oh,
this, it's
okay.
not.
It just looked disabled to me.
So then in our wallets.tsx, slash wallets. All right, here. So here we're posting this shit. But really we should probably post to teams slash. So I guess this needs to be
We just want like root make URL on this one, don't we?
We're in JavaScript. We can't do that. Like we're in front end JavaScript.
Will we not get access to all of the named roots?
We would need to export like a manifest or something, I believe.
Okay.
Um,
Does Ziggy work for React as well, or is it exclusively Vue?
oh no, I built it for React.
Okay.
Vue was a happy coincidence.
Mm.
All right, so we will fetch the URL here, and that means in our team or in our wallets controller, in our store, we now have a team, which means oh, I have creator and community ID. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Yeah, those should be separate. No, they shouldn't. They should be one thing.
Do we have factories made up for all these yet?
Not all of them.
Okay.
All right. So theoretically, is this really called wallets controller? Wait, this is called creator controller, first of all. And really, this should be team wallets controller.
And controller should probably be capitalized in the file name.
Well, it's
Oh,
it
no,
is.
it is. What just because it wasn't a second
Yeah, no,
ago.
I know. That's why I was confused.
Oh, I think because you renamed the class export, it renamed the file and picked the capitalization up from there.
Okay, gotcha. So so now if we go back to our routes, just gonna pop that in there. So now in our team wallets controller, we're gonna say team ID is team ID. All right, so theoretically, oh, so this is always scary. I'm doing this on a separate monitor.
Mhm.
You know what? Just for safety, I'm just gonna add a scene. All right, I'm sharing an empty black screen just in case.
Mm.
Um, I've
Yeah,
copied.
if you're always doing your dev, like I know on Google, I set up different profiles for different projects, so you have completely different data for all of your um, plugins, not plugins, the fucking
Accounts and shit.
yeah. So basically, like nothing can get compromised because you're just basically using fake empty things all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. All right, so now I am back to sharing my screen. So,
Extensions, that's the word I was looking for.
cool. So I'm going to connect. I'm going to add wallet. It's going to ask me to sign this message. I'm going to approve it. Unknown column team ID and field list. That's because we haven't migrated.
Mm.
Um, all right, Cool. So this gives us an opportunity to test all the way from the beginning. So we go. All right, we're going to register a creator team. It's going to ask us to OAuth. We're OAuth. We're going to add a team. It's going to be called Boryoku Dragons. It's going to be called Boryoku Dragons. The project description is going to be there is no greater NFT and a bunch of exclamation points. And then I'm going to paste that twice, 3 times even. All right. We're going to save. Okay. Ooh, it sent us to the Slug wallet, which is actually dope.
I do kind of prefer that.
I also prefer.
Do I?
Yes. No, you do. And you're right. So we'll call this Team Slug. And then in our wallets controller, we'll do Team Slug. And then just make sure in our migration, we're enforcing the unique. All right, so now if we reload this, what's your fucking problem, bro? We probably just need to restart the thing. Bro, what's your fucking deal?
Are we...
Oh, duh. We have to also do it in the create method. What is going on? We're not even console logging, so we're not getting there.
What the fuck?
Teams / Boryoku Dragons / wallets. What was happening when this was the problem earlier?
I don't remember.
Me neither.
Let's check chat to see if anyone's got that.
Chat.
Nope.
We literally have
Nothing
0
happening in
viewers right
chat. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
We had
I
like
thought it was
6 earlier.
fluctuating. Yeah. I feel so lonely.
It's all good. All right, cool. So, what are we missing?
Failed to load bindings. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
that's nothing. That happens all the time.
Oh. Is it /wallet /create?
Oh, yes, that's the issue. So we actually want to pull this. Let's just pull this into index now. And just fucking...
Does JavaScript have invocable controllers?
Um,
Or invocable classes, I mean? Because when they get a bit long, I kind of like single action controllers.
yeah. All right, here we are. So I have Boryoka Dragon's wallets. I'm going to add a wallet. I'm going to sign it. Row not found. Row not found. What does that mean?
Oh, we're looking it up by ID again and not slug.
Where?
When we're storing, oh no, we're looking by slug. Find or fail. Row not found. What do we have in our database right now? Like we've seen that be persisted, right? And we've got owner ID, type creator ID. Oh,
Oh, wallets is 404ing.
hmm.
Where is it trying to... So that's right. All this is right. Team/1/wallet. Ah, that's the... So in our actual... We're making the
Oh, in the
request
form.
to team/slug/wallets.
And it's going to have that same action in our form, right? Or is that where you just changed it?
No, our form is not submitting to... Our form is just submitting to /teams
Hmm.
because we're creating a team with it. So there is no team to reference. Okay, so theoretically, all right. So this is now working. This is not true. This is a lie. But we are adding wallets now.
Should we have the option to label wallets?
Not right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm with it. Just not right now.
We're MVP right now. So what happens after they've added their wallets?
So theoretically, after they've added a wallet, they have access to the tool. So we should probably at this point start like giving them access to the tool. So there is still code that needs to be written to like verify that they hold the correct number of bot heads. We have this code.
So at this point, is it the user that has access to the tools, the team, or the wallet?
It is the team that has access to the tools by justification of the wallet, right? So the wallet is the thing that gives the team access to the tools.
So maybe on our wallets model, we can just make a like get has access to blank computed prop that we can query in our view.
Yes, we should do that. Wait, in our view.
Or not the view, in the controller, I think. Fuck, what are you trying to say, brain?
For this.
I'm just thinking like a property that just returns a Boolean so that you can check that and then conditionally render a link to the tools.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. We will do that. So
Well, I guess that can be in a policy when that gets implemented. Like team can access tools.
Right, exactly. I feel like right now I want to just start like pulling in the tools though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I haven't actually looked at these other code bases, so I think I can see some value in that.
All right. It's a new window, and it is
With new, prettier
bothead.io.
settings that will do a whole bunch of strange linting stuff.
Real quickly, I'm just going to protect myself by changing my env in case I accidentally open it over here because it matters.
Mm.
All right. So I've removed all the important things from my env, and I'm removing my env from my recent files.
Hmm.
All right. So here we are. Let us All right. So, have you used Next.js ever?
No, I've never done any React work. I always just do Vue.
Have you used Nuxt.js ever?
Working with it currently.
Okay, cool. So that you are probably aware of the like folder structure based routing situation they have going on.
I would love to say I am, but they rolled their own routing solution.
Oh, cool.
But I'm mostly familiar with it.
Okay, so the idea is you have a pages directory. Everything in that pages directory is like a TSX file. And then you have an API folder, and then the API folder returns TypeScript files. So the TypeScript files are your server-side routes. The TSX files are your client-side routes.
Okay.
And then like a server-side route has this little handler that looks a lot like a controller method that has a request and a response. And it's basically just a function. So what we have here is a bunch of shit. So we have like a users/me that returns the current user. We have wallets index, wallet store, sync, which is like a sync roles thing. We have NFTs, so we can refresh all of the NFTs. We can refresh a specific NFT by mint. We have this next auth handler thing.
So this is just a series of tasks that we can run with a click of a button.
What do you mean?
Like the tools that we're going to list on this page that we've got access to, it's basically just a couple of tasks that we can run by sending out an API call then, right?
Well, I mean, it's like a full web app. Like it's a cruddy web app.
Right.
So like but yes, there are like, so those are not like the tools. Here's the tools. So like it's /WL/project. So then we have like an index. So this is like the manager's dashboard. Then we have allocations. So we can like store an allocation. And then once for a specific allocation, we have an API endpoint that checks if you're eligible for that allocation. We have an API endpoint that allows you to claim an allocation. And then we have like an update, which is like an admin thing. So like realistically, these should be like split out a little bit. Eligibility, I don't think we any longer need to have that be an API endpoint. I think that we can do all of that calculation server side before we render the page. So the only thing that really needs to be client side is the claim, I think.
Well, eligibility is going to be checking Oh, it's just checking database entries, isn't it? So it
No, it's
doesn't even
not.
need
It's
to
also
interact
checking
with
the
the
Discord
wallet.
API.
Okay, so shouldn't the page render first and then the eligibility would just happen once it's mounted?
Well, the eligibility needs to happen server side anyway. Like it's a
Oh,
server side, like we're checking things from the server,
okay.
because we don't want them to be able to spoof their eligibility,
Hmm.
right? So we're when they're authorized, we have a Discord token for them, right? So
Hmm.
then we're making a request to the Discord API using their token to get a list of their guilds, which are Discord servers. Discord servers are called guilds in the API for no reason. Um,
Hmm.
so we're going to get a list of their guilds and then their roles within those guilds. And if they have the correct role within the guild and the guild has space left, or and the allocation has space left in it, and they haven't already claimed this allocation from some, or claimed this like whitelist from some other allocation, then they are eligible. Right? So
Right.
things that make you ineligible are either you don't have the right roles, you've already claimed it, your allocation is full, or you've already claimed this from a different allocation, or you've already claimed it from this allocation.
So what if we kind of had um, a bit of both worlds? Like there's a pattern that Yaz and I were using with inertia where we would load the page with the view, but then we would lazily load all this other information that we could pull
Right. So
back
that's what I'm
for.
doing now. I'm actually using SWR for this. Do you know about SWR?
No.
So it's called stale while revalidating. It's a Vercel
Mm,
plugin for React. So
okay.
basically, it so the simplest way that it works is the first time you load a page, it like caches the responses from these things,
Hmm.
and then next time you load the page, it shows you the cached data first, and then it goes and pulls the live data from the server, and then hot swaps it in. So that's like the simplest use case for this thing, right?
Hmm.
You can also pass the default data in rather than having it come from the cache, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, that's what we would do is we would calculate the data server side, pass it in as props, and then have it revalidate that data whenever. You can have it revalidate data on a like every 30 seconds, every 300 milliseconds, whatever you want. Or you can have it revalidate only on like you can have it revalidate when someone focuses the page. So like if someone was like off in another window and they come back, we'll revalidate. Um, you can also there's also a mutate method that will just like force a revalidate. So anyway,
Yeah.
this is like how we would handle that situation. Um, it
Yeah. I
makes
kind of like
sense.
revalidating on page focus. I think that's kind of cool.
Hmm.
But yeah, just blocking render until we've gotten a server response. That always concerns me.
Well, that's why we wouldn't have to because we would
Yeah.
server side calculate the eligibility.
Mm.
Oh, but I see what you're saying because then we can't.
Yeah, we can't send any rendered, we can't send any view data until we've gotten a response back from Discord.
Okay, well that's fine. So what we're currently doing is this server side loop where we render before we have the eligibility. So I was trying to avoid re-implementing eligibility, but I think we might have to.
Hmm.
Because this is the other thing. So I was using Prisma in the next app, and Prisma models don't have methods, and so there's a
Hmm.
bunch of code here that really should be on models that is just like stuck in these things. So a big part of what I'm looking forward to here is like pulling that code out to model methods. So that is also something. So let's start with let's just start with the admin index, right?
Okay.
So let's go to, so I guess it would be team slash Boryoku Dragon slash
Slash
presale.
dashboard.
Well, that would theoretically be to manage all of your tools, right? Because like they might be using holder verification and presale and salesbot, right? And like all of those tools would theoretically be on the dashboard. So I think this would be slash presale.
Okay.
And that would be like the dashboard for that tool. So let's do that. So team slash team slug slash presale. Team. I think this is just a get method.
Ugh.
So, and then I think we have a get here for presale slash setup.
How are we preventing teams from squatting on valuable slugs?
We're not. We'll just moderate it manually if it happens.
Right.
Ideally, at some point. So I actually have an open conversation with Magic Eden. Well, I have the beginning of an open conversation with Magic Eden about getting them to expose an API endpoint for me to get, because Magic Eden has all of the mint lists for all of the projects.
Right.
And they have slugs for all the projects, and they have all the projects' names, and they have avatars for all the projects. So what I would love is if they would just give me an API, because like they have an API, right? And they have a collections thing. And you can just get up to 500 collections, right? And you can just like offset and like loop through this and cache all the collections if you want to, right? So here's their slug, here's the name, description, and an image. So that's all great, right? Problem is, we're dealing with pre-mint collections, which means they're not going to be on Magic Eden. We are, yeah, there's a bunch of shit. But for the holder verification, it would be great because theoretically, if this just returned, if this had an option to include a mint list, then we could straight up use this as like a source for a drop down so that when you were selecting your project, you wouldn't need to upload a mint list or anything. You could just like select it from a list. You know what I'm saying? And like when you're, yeah. So anyway, that'll be sick in the future if I get that API modification. But until then, it is what it is. So, so we have this, I'm creating a team presale controller with an index and a create. So theoretically, the index will check whether or not you have a whitelist or a presale created in the database. If you don't, then we'll just redirect you to setup. Then in setup, you'll have to enter a couple of things. You'll have to enter your supply, your mint price, your mint date, and I think that's it, right? And once you've
wouldn't mint price be determined in the smart contract?
what do you
Is
mean?
Like, so if you've got the smart contract set up,
Hmm.
if you just
But
had the,
nobody has a smart contract set up this early.
oh yeah, okay,
Most people create it the day before because they don't want it to leak to botters and stuff. So like
right,
the candy machine's probably not published at this point.
okay,
And if they did have the candy machine already, they wouldn't give it to us because people are very precious about leaking their candy machine IDs before mint.
does does Candy Machine send out like a manifest or something that's got some of those variables, so we could just ask for a manifest and it would have the mint price and everything in there as well as their dates?
Uh, Not exactly a manifest, but you can decode it from
Oh,
the blockchain. Like if you have a candy machine ID, you can get the go live date and all that other stuff.
right, but you're thinking that's something they wouldn't be willing to do?
Not only is it something I wouldn't be willing to do, the number of times where they don't even have that is
Right.
enough that it's like not worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. When we're listing the team presale controller.index, are we checking that they've got access to this? Because this is one of the tools that you're wanting to
To
set
gate,
aside.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we will want to do that, but we haven't
Okay.
built that ability yet. But yeah, like we should note that like these two routes should be gated behind the, what am I trying to type?
I feel
Wallet
like
index.
middleware would be a good place to do that.
Something
So
like that.
what would you even call that? Like has three bots middleware?
Just I would say like is eligible for creator tools middleware.
Right. Very explicit.
Yeah. All right, so let's make this controller. So
Which controller is this again? This is
this is going to be
T
team presale controller, I think. Team presale controller. All right, so what are we doing in here? We were, if they're not auth, they're not authed. All right, so first things first, all this bullshit, which is just checking that they're allowed to do shit. If team dot presale ID, then all right. So that's all our basic shit. And then I guess we'll just return view render
why is it squawking at presale ID?
because it doesn't exist.
Oh, that's what we're just making.
Yeah, yeah. So
My brain's starting to slow down.
you're good. I gotta go. I'm gonna only stream until 7, so I'm gonna go like 20 more minutes.
Mhm.
If you gotta roll, feel free to roll. But
No, I'll stick it out here,
all
and then
right,
I'm gonna do dinner, and then probably go back to my other project.
cool, cool, cool. Pre-sales. All right, so we're gonna have a pre-sales table.
I think we can shorten this too. I think we can do references presales.id. I am pretty sure .syntax works.
Cool.
You'll need to
This
double
needs to be
check me on that, but I'm pretty sure.
nullable. All right, so then we need to ace make model presale -m. All right, so this has an ID. A project can't have more than one presale, right? Right.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a 1-to-1, so we may as well go in this direction. It should be the other way. It should be the other way. I don't know why, but
A presale belongs to one project, and a project has one presale.
I think that's how it is. That
makes sense to me.
I don't know why, but it just feels better.
Well, at that point, it doesn't have to be nullable either.
That's true. That's a good justification. All right, so pre-sales extending base schema, blah, 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 blah. This is called pre-sales. All this is good. So we've got a project ID. All right, table dot integer supply. Let's actually look at how this
should we be like unsigned small int on that one?
Okay, so hold on a second. We have a mint date. We have an image URL. We have a okay. It's called total slots before.
I like the name of supply.
Well, supply is a separate thing. We just weren't selecting it before. Sorry, what were you saying about these columns? Unsigned.smallint?
Probably. Or maybe instead of being integer, like small. Yeah. I mean, depending. I can't even remember. That's what I'm trying to remember. Does that go up to like...
As long as it gets to 5 digits, we're okay.
Yeah. What the fuck? That's not the window I wanted. There we go. MySQL, smallint. Smallint signed, so it'll be 64,000.
I can't imagine a project with more than 64,000 supply, so sure. You know what? I'm just going to make it an integer because who knows?
Yeah, someone's just going to go nuts
to the meta. Maybe 64,000 supply NFTs are the new meta. Okay. So we have a supply, we have total slots. We're going to create a timestamp, which is called mint.
Oh, we've got medium int as well. What does medium int get us to? Yeah, small int, medium int. Medium int goes to 16 million.
All right, it's good enough for me. Okay. So we've got a mint date, we've got supply, we've got total slots. We've got a mint date. We need an image URI. Is it URI or URL? URL. This is not an integer. Then we've got owner Discord ID. That's not important. Discord guild ID and whitelist roles. All right. Cool. That looks good. All right. So we need to grab all this shit. Drop it on this model. All right. So there's a pre-sale.
Do we not need the data type after column?
I think you only need that for date times or for weird ones.
Okay. Oh, like casts?
Things that are cast, yeah.
Okay.
The roles might need one. Oh no, they only support column decorator. What's column decorator? I think that's fine. All right, so there's our pre-sale. So now in our pre-sale allocation, realistically, we just want to change this to pre-sale.
Did you copy that over from another one, or did you? Because I think you just changed the decorator and not the actual relationship.
Give me a second. Yes, you're right. All right.
Eventually, we might want to ditch the underscore ID pattern, just so that we can stick to expected defaults.
Right. That makes sense. Today's not that day.
Yeah,
There's too many of
that's
them. We should do it all at once.
yeah.
Um. All right. So allocations now have a presale ID, which means our allocation tests are now failing.
We've got tests failing.
Well, we definitely do because our previous allocation tests were project based, but now we're linking allocations directly to a presale and the presale to a project.
Right. Are we using factories for that in our test? Because I feel like if we were doing it one way, I think I had the model set up on the factory as well. So it'd be the relation down below, which means we need to set up a presale factory. And that'll have to get imported too.
Oh, you know what? I didn't add mint price. Wait, what was it called in the database? It's called price.
How many decimal places will Solana go down to for a single transaction?
A lot. Like 9.
Do we want to be storing that as a float, or could we get issues? Would we rather store it as an integer and just know that we're having to manually put in that decimal?
No. I mean, what issues could we run into?
Just floating point rounding errors.
It doesn't matter. It's only used for display. Like,
Oh, okay, so there's no actual transactional.
right. We're not doing any transactions.
Okay. So what are we doing? We're working on the presale factory, right?
Right, which is in this. Wait, where the fuck was it? I had it open. Oh, here we go.
Where it's squawking in that other one too with the relationship, we'll need to import
Yeah.
presale factory.
So
So ID, I think we can get rid of because that's done automatically. Project ID should be a relation. Discord guild ID, I think that's also a relation, isn't it?
No, but it's one of the wait, where's our
I don't even know if we exported that helper.
we here we go. Just gonna copy it for now. All right, there's our factory. All right. So where were we? Take a sip of coffee.
I wonder if maybe for these last couple of minutes, maybe we should just scaffold out some test names. Maybe
Yeah,
if I
good
get
call.
time tonight, then I can just work on backfilling.
Yes, that's a good call. So let's commit where we are.
There's going to be a big, dirty whip commit.
All right, so all right. I don't think much of this is actually worth testing now that I've gotten here.
Yeah, the Discord stuff, I mean, even to test
So
it takes a while. I'm not opposed to just leaving them in there or skip test just in case at some point in the future we want to.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm not going to waste my time on that because we know it works.
exactly. And the time it takes to test it is like so long. All right,
Yeah.
so presale allocation crud. Um, so
So
we'll
I
just make
think
this
the first
give it
thing is,
presale.
I think checking redirects for each stage in the workflow.
Right. So yeah, let's do that. Let's Let's make a test. Creator onboarding test. Oh, not artisan. Oh, come on.
Oh, right. Functional.
What?
Or, yeah, functional space. So take out name and just put functional.
All right, so
I feel like functional should be a flag instead of an argument.
yeah. Okay, so
All right, so what was the first thing we were doing in this whole
all right,
thing?
unauthenticated users are redirected to home from dashboard. Users are redirected to login if or when attempting to access creator routes. So then that'll include like a list of all routes prefixed with team dashboard creator. Test after submitting submitting the creator.store form, user is redirected to teams/slug/wallets. User cannot access /creator/ or /team/slug/ presale if okay, so user who is ineligible for presale is redirected to wallets page from presale dashboard, from presale routes. And this should be presale dashboard and presale setup. Make a dummy eligible or is eligible for creator tools method on team model.
And we'll just hard code that to true for now.
Yeah. All right. I think that's a pretty good place to start.
Yeah, I think so. Authenticated users are redirected home from dashboard. Submitting creator.store. Ugh.
And then ideally, so let's just look at this real quick. This is the page that currently exists. It's super slow. All right, so we want to build something like this. So I'm just gonna go into GitHub. And I'm gonna make an issue. Whoa, what the fuck? Issues, thank God. All right, actually, we're not gonna include that one. So this is straight up just the admin CRUD, right?
Mm.
So once the user has passed the setup stage of presale, they gain access to the admin CRUD index. currently these are React components in So we don't need any of this to be React. This can all be just straight edge.
Cool.
So if you are looking for the next thing to do, that's probably it. Depending on when you get to it, just hit me up because I'm probably going to start grinding on this like either tonight. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to put another hour or two into my other project.
Okay. And if
do all
you
our family stuff for a while, and then I might start working again on this tonight.
okay, if you come back tonight, just let me know. If not, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'll just check with me tomorrow to see where I got to, or I'll
All right.
update you before I go to bed of where I got to.
Sounds good. I'll see what my brain lets me do,
All right,
and
man.
if you prefer, I can just focus on backfilling tests for now, and then let you do this thing. I don't know.
I
I'll
feel
message
like
you if I
getting the
start later.
crud. I mean, backfilling tests is helpful. I feel like getting crud working is also helpful. So whatever. Like they kind
Yeah.
of both
Well.
need to happen, and it is what it is. Like we're grinding.
Yeah. If I sit later, I'll hit you up.
All right, word. Sounds good. All right, man.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. No worries. And
I'm gonna
to
stop the
the
stream